I feel.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Girl, Let's Agree to Disagree. I am your host, Jessica Milagros. I am here with Busy Blue and Braden White from BB Canada 9. Say hello, everybody.
What's
Hello,
up,
everyone.
y'all? Hey, y'all. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Yes, we're actually kind of on time.
For once.
Crazy enough. We're not as late as we usually are. So,
Dragged.
so everybody say hi in the comments. If this is your first time, click like and subscribe. Click to receive notifications. This is for those of y'all who may or may not know. This is a countdown to my birthday week, and I have a special treat for all of you all because what I have are queens from Big Brother season 23, and we're starting the party off right. We're starting it with one of the biggest and best queens there is of the season. Aside from the AFP, she is the one who gave us all the joys and the laughter, and I know there are so many people that are waiting for this beautiful young woman. And thank you everybody for the birthday wishes.
No, she
Happy
said it's
birthday to
leading
all the
up.
Libras. It's
She
leading
said it's
up.
leading
My
up,
birthday,
y'all.
my birthday's on the 14th. My birthday's on the 14th.
Come on.
So what I would hit is that Austin?
They always together.
Let me
You
disconnect
brought
the AirPod.
Austin. Look at that. Oh gosh. Okay, so not only do we have Braden, but if anybody has watched Big Brother Canada 9, we have Austin. Austin
Hey,
Bulldog.
Austin.
You've been hiding, my love. You have been hiding.
I'm a girl missing in action.
Girl missing in action. Well, you should stay because we are about to announce, our queen of the hour here that we are about to bring in because everybody's waiting. And look, everybody's like in love. Everybody's like, oh my God, Austin. Everybody say hi. Say hi to Austin. If you all know, you know me. I love myself some queens. So I'm loving all of this. Yes. So you know what? Without further ado, let's just bring her in because we are about to kiki. And for those of y'all who knows how this works, send your questions. We have a few questions for her ourselves. And the best way to support the channel is through Super Chat. Super Chat, especially because we have right now close to 350 people online watching this, and it's probably going to get bigger. So
right now,
the best way, so the best way
Chaddha
for us,
bringing in the numbers.
Yes. So don't get nervous, but for us to see your question, if you really want to ask Hannah a question, Super Chat's the best way because it will go straight up and we will be able to see it like right now. And so without further ado, let's bring Miss Hannah Chaddha.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
I'm fangirling right now over all of you. Oh my God.
What's up?
How am I here? I don't
Girl.
even know. I don't even know.
Well, let me start off by saying, girl, you made us Chicagoans proud. I am so proud of you. You don't know. First of all, I'm happy because you were one of my draft picks, and I was
really?
I need girl. You know what Chicago girls need.
Snatched you up before I could get my hands.
I snatched you up real quick. I snatched you up real quick.
What was this draft? Who was it with? Was it just with you four?
No, a separate one.
So we had our own separate one with BB.
Oh, okay.
And then I had one with them as well.
Yes, Braden.
Okay.
It was Braden. It was Busy, and then it was Hannah Claire, who also does the podcast with us. She could not be here today. And then it was me. So it was four of us, and it was the Big Brother draft. And so we picked our four, and you were one of my four. It was you. For me, it was you, Aza, Christian, and Sarah Beth. Those
are
were my
pretty good.
I didn't do too bad, but Mr. Busy here, he ended up getting Xavier, so he won the whole draft.
Who won that? I was gonna ask the
Yes.
question.
Well, first of all, he had both Tiffany. He had Tiffany and
X.
and X. So he
I mean,
probably
Oh,
he
no,
like
no,
killed
no.
the season. He
You
killed
know how
the
to. I
season.
just know how to pick them. I know how to
You
pick them.
beat everyone.
Yes.
Wow, winner and AFP all on the same team.
You know how to pick them.
Yes.
I can point them out.
Okay, so we're gonna get down. We're gonna get down to this girl. You are being. There are so many people who are giving you so much love. I'm sure. I'm sure you've been feeling it all week, right? You're currently
Yeah.
First of all, how are you feeling coming right out of the show? Well, tell us what you're feeling right now.
It's weird. It's very overwhelming. Before coming on Big Brother, I did not use social media at all. I didn't know how to post to my Instagram, didn't go on Twitter, didn't really post on TikTok. And now to be receiving all this like digital support, it's really nice, but it's also like, whoa, I'm not used to this. But being out of the house, it's almost like you have to relearn your old habits. Like you have to relearn how to order food from a restaurant and how to like buy groceries and how to pay your bills. And so that's what I'm working on right now. But this whole week has been a blast because I've been with the other house guests. They can't get rid of me. I love them too much.
See, that was quite opposite of mine. I wanted to get rid of mine as fast as possible. So I'm a little jealous, but you totally deserve. You totally deserve it. I'm so happy, and you got a new cut, girl.
I did.
What?
Okay, so
good.
yeah, last night, or not last night, but yesterday morning, I woke up at 6 and I was just like, I feel like chopping off 7 inches of my hair. So I did. I made the appointment at 6 a.m., went to the hair salon at 9 a.m., and the rest was history.
I'm surprised you just trusted anyone to cut your hair.
Yeah.
That's bold.
Take it off.
Literally.
Well, okay, so the salon that I went to, it had good reviews. I looked on Yelp. And
yes,
I looked on
Yelp
Yelp,
queen.
so you know it must be.
Ooh.
Oh, she got a call. See, the social media. I love how she's like, I had to learn how to do groceries, pay my bills, but in 2 hours she had a haircut. I love it.
She yelped it. So I love it. Okay. All right. Yes. She's on her phone for those
Can you guys
who
hear me?
are. Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
we can hear you.
We can hear you.
I can hear
I
you.
don't think she can hear us. She needs to connect back to the AirPods.
Maybe connect.
Yeah,
we can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Where's
Here,
her
let
thing?
me.
Where's this thing?
Yeah, I have my headphones. Sorry. Okay.
We can totally hear you.
Yeah, she's gonna have to take them out, put them back in. She got it. Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can totally hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay. I'm so sorry about that. Tiffany just called me and then it like exited me out of the app. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But
Technical issues. We're flying by the seat of our pants.
It's not like I did anything super special, so I just kind of, I don't know.
Well, it looks
good.
fabulous. It looks fabulous. Let's
Thank
start
you.
with some of these questions because we
Jessica,
have so much love.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Oh no. Okay. Let's
Did
see.
your AirPods die? Did they die?
Okay, let's try this one
Yeah,
more
let's
time.
try it one more time. Can you hear
It's
us
like
now?
magic. Yep.
Can you hear us now? It doesn't seem like she could hear
Hello?
us.
Oh no.
Hello?
We can hear
us?
you.
I can hear everyone except Jessica.
Oh.
Yes.
Rude.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Tell them to look at Jordan's question. Jordan,
Yeah.
thank you for the super chat. Go
Thank you for
ahead.
the super chat, Jordan. We're gonna read Jordan's question. Says Chaddha.
What did you say, Jessica? I couldn't hear you.
We're reading Jordan's question, which is now that you're
I
out
can
of the
hear anyone.
house. What?
Okay. Now I can hear you.
Wait,
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear Austin and Brady.
I'm all the way from Canada.
We're like,
can't
if
hear
you-
Okay, it's just the three of us now. You guys can hijack the podcast. Yes. Okay.
Hijack
what they
podcast.
wanted.
All right.
This is what they wanted.
Ask the question.
It's
Jordan.
a little sabotage situation.
Very, very.
We
Okay.
hacked the system.
What they were saying
Yes.
was, we're going to read Jordan's question. Jordan for the
Hello,
$5
Jordan.
donation.
Welcome to the
And he
show.
says, Chaddha, now that you're out of the house, who surprised you the most this season and why?
Okay. I don't know if that means like in terms of their occupation, who surprised me the most, or like in terms of how they are outside of the house versus inside the house. I wasn't surprised that X isn't a bartender at all. I mean, it was pretty obvious in the house. He did like the worst job of concealing that secret. But I did think it was pretty cool that he's an attorney. And then same thing with Claire. Claire being an engineer, SB being a forensic chemist. I was just really impressed to learn that about them. And then in terms of like who is the most different outside of the house, maybe Kai. Kai, yeah, because Kai in the house is a little bit of a mad scientist. And outside of the house, he's a lot more relaxed, a lot chiller. I enjoy being around him outside of the house. Inside of the house is a different story.
The shade.
So can you all hear me? Can I still not be heard?
What did you
We
say?
can hear you. I
Can
don't
you
think
hear
so.
Yeah.
Jordan said in general. So you
Jessica, I cannot hear anything that you're saying.
You're saying
And you can't hear me as well, right? Correct?
I don't think she can hear you either.
This is so
Okay.
odd.
It's us.
So it's totally
I
gonna
see
be
exactly
Brady.
What did you
what's
say?
going
Oh,
on
it's really
here.
just us? They can't hear me either?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You just
we
can't
can
hear
all hear
either
you.
of them.
You can just, for whatever reason, only hear us.
You got that kind of connection.
Okay.
It's the healthcare connection, you know? Canada really says.
Now you guys are cutting in and out for some reason.
Can you hear us now?
The tea is hot. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think when you guys sit closer to the computer, I can hear you.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Well, so the person who asked the question about who surprised you the most wants to know just in general, like overall, like was there one person that like just surprised you either like the way, because you watched some of the show, yes, or no, just a few episodes.
Yes, just a few of the episodes.
And has there been like anything where you're like, oh, okay, that's a little surprising, or just what you said, just Kai and basically everyone being brilliant?
Oh. Okay, well, I don't know if anyone's really surprised me in watching the episodes back, but Brent's blindside had me dying. The fact that he was like, this is going to be the best blindside in Big Brother history. This is going to be Dan's funeral equivalent. And he was like the victim of the blindside. That made me chuckle. It made me smile. Sorry.
Very tragic. I guess we're really just
What did you say?
You're really just doing it yourselves. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna talk.
So the next question is from Victoria Smith, and she asks, with Zingbot's zings, were you surprised how popular you are once you got out of the house?
Yes, I was really like in the house. I'm pretty sure the live feeds caught me saying this multiple times. I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna know who I am. I'm just gonna be like, you know, that one young girl who's part of the cookout, and that's gonna be that. So when I came out of the house, I was like, whoa. People know who I am, and people care about me. And it's not even like an external validation thing. It's not even like, oh my God, I just want to be liked. But it's really nice to see like how supportive people are of me, of the cookout, of the season, of our mission. I've been receiving nothing but positivity, which just fills
As
my
you
heart.
deserve.
So
you
thank
deserve
you.
it.
I'm sorry.
No, we just said as you deserve, you know?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yay!
Yay!
Sorry,
Yay,
y'all.
yay,
This
yay.
is gonna happen. It's a live. Hannah's on her phone, so if anybody else calls her, y'all know if she kind of like blinks out, it's because someone is trying to reach out to her.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yes, you know, you're getting a ton of love. So let's get down to the business. So you're at Todrick's right now. You guys are going to be
Yes.
Why and how? What can someone explain to me how we got to
How we
Todrick's
ended up
place?
here.
I love Todrick Hall. Okay, I was dating a guy who was,
Yes.
you know, he was at his house, and I was like, oh, okay, so I got a chance to meet him. But
Oh my
then
God.
randomly, I was on Tiffany's Instagram, and I was like, is that Todrick? And they was hugging. And I was like, none of this is making sense to me. Okay, so how
Yes.
in the middle of a pandemic did we get to Todrick's house that he just got?
Good question. Okay. Good question. Okay, so Todrick is a huge fan of the show and he watched all the episodes this season. So he actually reached out to Christian right before we got out of the house. And he was like, hey, if you guys want to come over after finale, you're more than welcome to. So we did. We exchanged numbers with him. He was just super like welcoming and open and hospitable. So then like the whole cast stayed at a separate Airbnb for 2 days together, and then we got kicked out because our stay was up. So Tiffany texted Todrick and she was like, hey, I know this is a lot to ask, but like me and 6 other people need somewhere to stay.
The
Would you be so kind as to open up
Tiffany
your
for
home?"
the win.
And he did. He did. He was so excited. He's in there right now. But
When y'all leaving this
he-
man's house?
yeah, he's just kind of lurking around the house. But I'm sorry.
I said, when y'all leaving this man's house?
No, he's like so stoked to have us here.
Oh, I love that.
He's a good
Okay,
guy.
so I'm staying till Sunday. I'm staying till Sunday. Tiffany and DX are staying till like the following week. So they're gonna be at Todrick's for a good like 2.5
She got
weeks.
kids.
And Todrick was like, "No, you
What
have
does
to fly
that
back out."
matter?
Yeah.
Don't she got
Busy?
kids?
No,
Busy? That's rude.
She got kids. She
I'm
need
sorry?
to go. Hurry. I'm sure she misses her
Busy. She'll see
children.
Let Hannah talk.
No, she has one son, but
Okay.
she'll see Christian when she sees
Yeah.
Christian.
Oh,
Christian's
she's-
good. Christian's in school right now, and I think Christian's also flying. I think Christian's flying out here next week, so they'll be reunited then. But
Oh, that's
Todrick
beautiful.
was like, yeah, yes.
You
yeah.
know, I think
I'm
a lot of
looking
people,
forward to that.
and Busy doesn't know this, but
Mhm.
I think maybe Boston can attest to this, and Hannah, you too. It's a little hard to reacclimate coming right out of the house. Like it's the first thing in your mind is not,
Yes.
let me go straight to my family. If you've made really good connections with the
Okay.
people that you've been with. I mean, we're
Mhm.
talking about 80 plus days,
Yes.
like I was with my team for 99
Mhm.
and I didn't even like all of them that much. And there was still, a bond that
Yeah.
happens in such a weird way,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? So it takes
Mhm.
time to kind of, I mean, I'm sure you hadn't seen any of the pre-jury. So then you're catching up with pre-jury. You're catching up with, you're
Mhm.
catching up with people from the jury. You're catching up with the people who stayed, right,
Mhm.
in the house. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
talk, right? So I'm assuming
Yes.
you're still kind of like trying to get all
Yes.
of that out.
Yeah.
Are you trying
Yeah,
to get
no,
all of that
we've
out?
I mean, we haven't been doing much like game talk. I think we did that for the first maybe 1 or 2 days. But we all really love each other. Like it would be after a nomination ceremony, after a veto ceremony, after a backdoor. And normally the house, I feel like in previous seasons, the house would get tense and you could definitely tell that, no one wanted to mess with each other for the rest of that day or the rest of that week. But with us, we would still sit down every single night for a family meal. So not once did we not do family dinner. We did family dinners every night, regardless of the tension, regardless of the game. So we just really grew to love each other as a cast. And that's definitely transferred over to now. We still really
Yeah.
love each other. Like I'm attached to these people. These people have become my family.
Absolutely
As much
everybody?
as, I don't like them sometimes. I'm sorry.
I was like, you absolutely everybody?
No. There are certain people that I'm like, I'm good.
While we were there, but I'm done.
What?
There's like some people where you're like, it was cute when we were together, loved that for us, but now
We're out.
live your life.
Go.
Gotta go.
Yes, yeah, but I'm still like the Cookout. We talk all day, every day, so I'm still really close to them. I'm still close to Derek X, Claire, Alyssa, who else? Whitney. Those are my people.
Yes, we love that for you. Okay,
Yes.
so thank you, Christina,
Yes.
for the super chat. She asks, were you surprised that Big D wasn't liked? How surprising was that? Everybody thought that Big D was like a fan favorite. They thought he won BB Bucks. He was getting votes from DX. Like what were your surprise? Was there a surprise? Were y'all like, what? Like he's got that much beef? I think he probably has the most of that polar, he's got a lot of
Yeah.
people fighting against him. So was that a surprising thing for you?
Yes, it was, just because when you're in the house, you aren't really aware of how you're being received. And he got 100 BB bucks almost every week. So I thought, okay, well, if this is like our one way to gauge how America feels about us, America must really be feeling Big D. And then also, like, a lot of, the controversy, or a lot of the controversial comments that Big D made happened after I left the house, after I was evicted and I was already in jury. So watching, those last 2 weeks back, I was like, whoa. Yeah, but I was definitely surprised that Big D wasn't I was surprised that Big D wasn't in the top 2 or 3 for AFP.
Really?
I was really surprised. But Tiffany, yes and no. Okay, so like I said, I was kind of going off of BB bucks, and Big D's also hilarious, and I figured, okay, his DRs must be funny too. But after Tiffany was evicted, that's when I was like, okay, it's probably going to be Tiff and DX, because America's going to feel like Tiff was robbed, which she was, instead of Big D and DX. But like, had Tiffany gone farther, then I don't know, maybe it would have been Big D and DX. I don't know what I was thinking.
So the commonality here is DX. And thank you for the super chat, Karen Ventura. She said, supporting some of my faves, Justin Bazzi. Love the rest too. Chaddha, were you shocked to see how loved DX is? Or I'm sure that was not a shock. Everybody was probably in love with DX, yes?
No. Yes, literally everyone loves DX. He's such a likable person. So he's hilarious. He's sweet. I was not surprised at all.
Apparently, he is now part of the Cookout. There's pictures, because everybody's posting on Twitter that he is literally a part of the Cookout.
Yes.
Like, he took over Big D's portion of the Cookout.
I know. I think I posted, like, someone get this man just the whole platter, just not even a plate, the whole platter. He's invited. He's part of it.
Oh my gosh, no, seriously. I mean, I think one of our biggest things, and now you know that you are insanely loved by so many people.
Yeah.
What is it going to look like for you now after this is done? Well, this is done. So now what's next for Miss Hannah Chaddha?
For Miss Hannah Chaddha, I'm pretty committed to my schooling, to my education. I went on the show because I love the game and because I wanted to be a different type of representation, in the sense that in most mainstream media, young women of color have to fit into this box, and I don't fit into that box, and I wanted to be able to show that on the show, and I feel like I did that. I did what I came to do, and now it's just time to jump back into school, get my master's, and then become Dr. Chaddha.
Come on, Dr. Chaddha.
I like the ring of that. Are you doing that? Are you doing that in Chicago, or are you moving somewhere else?
So currently my master's program is at a university in Los Angeles, but because of COVID, I've never actually lived in LA. So I'll be moving back here at the end of December to finish up my master's program. And then with med school, it just depends on where I get in.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So were you surprised, because Julie mentioned this, that you have one of the highest IQs in Big Brother history? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
There's not many that hold that crown. I think another person that holds that is also from Chicago, and that's Matt Hoffman, who has one of the highest IQs. He was from BB12. From BB12. Yes. How long have you been watching? Or what seasons have you watched of Big Brother?
I've seen everything from 8 on.
Wow.
So I haven't seen 1 through 7, but I've seen 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
Oh wow! So you didn't watch All Stars? That's your
I
have.
one. Oh no, I haven't. Seen the
7
first All Stars.
You haven't seen the first All Stars?
Yeah.
I haven't seen 7.
Oh girl!
No, so you're gonna see Janelle's
I know,
first season.
I'm fake. I'm so fake.
Me, I'm like,
You are
sorry,
not.
Yes,
sorry,
Gino's
sorry.
first and second seasons.
Yes, yes.
I mean, amazing stuff.
Okay.
Tell us what you applied for the show? Did you apply?
Yes, I applied. I applied in February. I sent in my video. Didn't think I was going to hear back from them, and then March 5th was when I got my first call.
My birthday. It's
Oh,
a lucky
really?
day. See, there we go.
Busy.
You're
Busy
welcome.
gave me good luck. Yeah,
You're
you gave me
welcome.
all the good
Yeah.
luck. Thank you. I'm forever indebted to you.
Oh, it's
So-
okay. Stop.
So what would you say or give people tips on how you made, like, how did you make it in? Why do you think you were different than than other people who may have also applied?
I think, okay, so I could give you the whole cliche, be yourself, be yourself. I don't know what that means. So what I'm going to say is when you apply, that's basically you marketing yourself. It's almost like a business pitch. So you have to figure out what role you see yourself playing on this season, what kind of niche you want to fill. And then it's all about having stories, because you can't just be like, I'm really smart. Tell me why you think you're smart. Tell me what your accomplishments are. So kind of like going into depth, having stories. Humor always goes a long way. If you can make them crack up. Like I think I inserted bloopers in mine, and there was a blooper where I was like quoting Al Pacino randomly, and it just did not make sense in the context of my video, but must have made them laugh. I don't know. And then I like recited the first 60 digits of pi just cuz. So like be quirky, be goofy. And yeah, I think that's the best piece of
Yeah.
advice I have.
I would probably say the same. I was like,
Totally.
like they're constantly asking you for stories. You need to be able
Yes.
to
You have
talk,
to be on it.
and yeah, you need to be able to talk stories. Like, oh, I remember when this happened to me. And if you have this big story and it's funny and it's quirky and you've been through stuff, like those are, I
Yes.
always say that's kind of the best material, because people always want to hear if you can tell a compelling story. It always shows like how much people are listening to you. If you're like, I don't know.
You hold an audience, basically.
Yes, exactly. So we have a few more questions. Thank
Sure.
you, KG, for the super chat. How was your convo in jury? So we didn't see. We're gonna have
Okay.
Hannah switch over, because I know that's is that more comfortable for you, Hannah?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
phone is about to die. I am such a mess. So I'm gonna get my charger, but we're gonna talk at the same time.
We
Look,
love it.
Okay.
I gotta
Yes.
go run really quick. I just
Welcome to
want say-
Todrick's house.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcome. She's giving us the tour of Todrick's house. Bye, Austin.
Wow.
Austin, we love
Yes.
you, girl.
I have to run really
Best
Hi,
quick.
Austin.
I just want to say hi. Love you. Congrats. Bye, guys.
Hi,
Yeah.
Austin. Thank
Come
you,
on,
thank you, thank
Austin.
you.
Bye.
Bye. It was nice to meet you.
So
Miss you.
Todrick,
is
where's the charger?
Welcome to my humble abode.
Yay!
MTV.
He is,
This
I
is
think
this
he's
is
in the
Hannah's
theater
MTV
right now.
cribs. These
I
are
remember
Hannah's
when he
MTV
got
Yes,
cribs.
that
welcome to
place.
my
It was
MTV
so
cribs.
excited.
I love.
Yes.
Fully wholeheartedly.
She's gonna go get.
Welcome
she's
to
gonna
my
go
MTV
get
crib.
her. Yes. Can you hear us?
My charger.
Can
Yes,
you hear
I
us?
can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay.
What's
So we're just gonna ask the question as you start grabbing everything, because
Oh, cute room.
yes,
Sure.
cute,
Right.
super cute room. Okay. So
it's the Wizard of Oz room. It's a mess right
Oh,
now.
I
but-
saw this one.
Sorry.
Yes, I saw that one.
Yes.
How was your convo with the jury during the cookout? Like, we only saw Tiff talk to jury.
Yeah, like briefly.
Also, like, how did the jury react to your secret about being a prodigy? So when did you tell them? Like,
Yes.
did you tell them at jury? Did you have any like hard conversation? How did they receive you in jury?
Okay, so in terms of like them finding out about my involvement in the cookout, Tiffany walked in a couple hours before I did. So she was able to have that conversation with them. And when I walked in, they did have a few questions about like my specific contributions to the cookout and what my involvement was. But they were nothing but understanding and supportive of me and of the mission. So I really couldn't have asked for 5 better non-Cookout jury members. And then in terms of, you know, my secret about being a math and science prodigy and just being an intellect and student of life, they thought that was cool. They were like, oh, okay, so you were kind of playing ditzy a bit, and I was like, maybe.
Yeah, you did
Maybe.
it so well. And I'll have to tell you, like, it's very interesting watching you play because we were basing you off of your bios, right? So your bio, I was like, this girl's gonna be fun because she wants to stir shit up. You said, I'm
Yeah.
gonna, you know, turn it up. But then you came in and you did quite the not quite the opposite.
Yeah.
You had those moments, you had those little digs, but it was like you could tell that you weren't being what you wanted to be because obviously there was a different mission. How different would you have played, do you think, without the Cookout?
Without the Cookout, I would have played differently for sure. I came in wanting to backstab, blindside. I did not want to play a loyal game. I wanted to use and then, you know, toss people out. I wanted to use people and then toss them out when I was done with them. Like I wanted to play a ruthless game. I didn't want to get attached to anyone. But when I, you know, glanced at my other house guests and saw that there were 5 other people who looked like me and we were all on the same page in terms of what we felt needed to happen this season, I had to play a much more passive game because I'm not playing for one person, I'm playing for 6. And the last thing I wanted to do was have a huge target on my back and then force the Cookout to expose or to show their cards prematurely. Like when I was on the block week 4, I mean, had I still been the target, I would have had the votes to stay because of the Cookout, but they would have had to show their cards. And then one of us would have been cut the following week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I saw that too. And I was like, this girl, you could tell that you wanted to make moves. And I could even tell by the way, you know, I think the only time that people might have been a little upset with you was when you were trying to cut DX from the house and everybody just loves you in DX. This was like, no, you're hurting our feelings, Hannah. Like, keep DX, use him for your game. You know, everybody was like, no, this cannot be happening. But that's where I saw that little cutthroat in you where I was like, oh, it makes total sense that this is what she wanted to be. You can't, you know, could not blame you for that. Do you see yourself returning to thank you, Nick Grass, for the super chat, but he says, do you see yourself returning to reality TV? Do you see yourself, if they asked you to play again, would you do it?
So I'm not sure if I would do other reality shows, just because, like I said, my priority is school. It's always been and it always will be. But if they asked me to do another season of Big Brother, maybe when I'm finished with my school, maybe when I'm a little older and have more life experience under my belt, I would love to come back because I'm really curious to see how I would play if, you know, I were just playing an individual game. I didn't really get the chance to do that this season. So, not the question.
Loved when she says I loved when she cut
having to do that. It broke my heart.
It's hard, especially when you create those these, like I always tell people, and I don't know why people don't understand this. It's like, this is not just a game. Sometimes, yes, it's a game. We get it. It's a game. But the relationships that we build inside of these houses are real. Like,
very real.
It is sometimes people play and sometimes you think they're real and they're not real, and that hurts, you know, but nevertheless, it's real. We feel a lot of these things, and the longer that they're in the house, the longer the relationship, the harder and the harder it gets. You know, so how much of this have you watched?
Exactly.
How much of the show have you watched so far? What do you know?
I've only seen the first 3 weeks. So basically up until Brent's eviction is what I've seen.
Yikes, it gets good after that.
It does get good.
I'm about to be put on the block, so I don't know.
Oh, you can skip that part.
Well, as long
Literally.
as long as you know that you didn't leave
That I
that
didn't
week.
go home, right?
True.
Sorry, I'm just charging
But
my
it,
phone.
yeah,
Okay.
but it does I'm surprised because it takes a long time. I didn't watch the season
Me.
until months later. Later.
Mhm.
You too, Brayden?
Yeah, I haven't fully watched it all yet either. I've only watched like maybe like 3/4 or like
Really?
halfway.
Oh wow.
I never
Yeah, I
watched
don't know. I just feel like
myself either.
cringy
Oh,
watching
wow.
myself.
Yeah, it is a little cringe to kind of see yourself go
I'm
through
like,
all of
ooh.
that.
I feel you.
Allie, thank you for the super chat. She says, how did you feel when Kylan said you and Big D were interchangeable in that same level of gameplay?
Oh, that was
Let's
my
kind of put this into
question.
because the look
That
on
was
your
my
face,
question.
girl. The look on your face said it all. We
The
were
look on
right.
Alyssa's
Everybody,
face said it
the
all.
work, no, the look on all of our faces when he
True,
was
like-
saying that, probably on our TV sets, like when we were watching it, we're like,
What?
tell us why everybody, tell us why, Kylan, why do people think Big D did something?
No.
I didn't mean
Why
it
do
to
people
sound
think
like
he contributed?
What? Now, come on.
That was mean. I'm sorry. That was not, I did not say that right. I meant, why do people think that your games are interchangeable? Like, what is it that we didn't see that people, we watched feeds, we watched the show. What didn't we see that made people think that you two could potentially even be close to interchangeable?
Your guess is as good as mine, Jessica. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, I was very confused by that. Listen, I think because I've been in that house, I realized that every strategy is a strategy. Like I don't want to sit here. Before walking into the house, I judged certain players really hard. Like, oh, this person's played a horrible game, or like this person's game sucked. Um, so I don't want to sit here and bash Big D's game because he was able to make it to final two. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
he was able to make it to final two, and I was not. But Big D, I think, played a much more social game. In the sense of whenever someone told him to do something, he would do it. With me, I feel like I played more of a strategic game, where like Tiffany came up with the master plan, and she deserves all the credit in the world for that. But I was definitely her right hand woman, helping her out with like plotting different scenarios and running through probabilities in the high rollers room and this and that. So that's more of the game that I played. And I'm not going to sit here and say that my game was better than Big D's, or that Big D doesn't deserve to be in final two, but my game was just different than Big D's. And that's why I don't think that we're interchangeable. I think
Yes,
that was
Busy.
a very wrong choice of words.
Busy has his hand up.
Hey, so good to be here. So is it true? Because I was watching Tiffany's live and she said this out of her own mouth that Big D created the cookout. And she said she wants to make it clear that Big D was the one who created the cookout. As a lot of people try to drag the girl, but Big D did create the cookout and she created the master plan, but it was his idea to say, look, we are doing this all together.
Yeah. Yes, he was the first one who approached the five of us about that. But I think the cookout would have happened anyway, just because all of us knew what we needed to do. It was just Big D just happened to be the first one to verbalize that. But I think we would have gotten together anyway. Like I said, everyone had their own contributions to the cookout. So I'm not going to be like, I'm a better player than Big D. But I mean, I feel like I did more.
I mean, you could say it if
you could say it if that's the way you feel. I mean, he had no problem saying that he was better than everybody else.
He did.
You know,
Big
like
delusional.
that's
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. But I'm saying like that's the thing. That's the thing. It's not so much about like who did more and what happened. It is really kind of just the fact that he says that he was the only person who deserved to be in final two with Xavier.
Yeah, that's
and
wrong.
And that you ladies were right in being the first three to go. Do you feel that? Like, was that something that you thought should have happened?
No, not at all. That's definitely disheartening to hear. I don't think I've never once felt like I'm the only person who deserves to be in final two. I mean, that's not really up to me. That's up to the game. That's up to jury.
Right.
I think Tiffany could have been sitting in those final two chairs. I think
Of course.
Kai could have sat in one of those final two seats. Myself, Azza, Big D, Xavier. It doesn't really matter who, because if you get there, then you get there. And then the jury just has to vote based on the options that they have. But for the women to have been targeted in the way that they were, why? You know,
Yeah.
why?
And I
Like
think you were
it's
you were
because
one of the
Tiffany's
people who
master
did that.
plan that we were able. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, there's lag. I apologize for this. I was gonna say
no, you're
you more than anybody, I think, you were very great at calling out the ego. You
fully.
were great at calling out the misogyny in terms of like saying, oh well, that's his ego talking. That's this happening. Like you're discrediting me. Like these were things that I thought you were great at being able to point out. Is that something that you feel? Have you talked to the men about this? This is getting a little sorry. I know that the people who are on, like
No,
they
you're
all
fine.
have wanted to know this because they've been messaging me, they've been saying it, and I don't think I would do a due diligence as you know as the person on this podcast to not ask, have you had these conversations with the men, and do they is the change of tune or the change of tune, is that, do you feel it's sincere in the apologies and I mean they haven't
The
even watched
recognition that they're
the
trying
recognition.
Yeah. Okay, so a couple of things on that. I've had like introductory, or maybe we'll call them like preliminary conversations with the guys, where I'm kind of operating on limited information because I haven't seen the episodes back and I haven't watched all of the live feed clips. So I did make it clear that I basically let it be known that the guys would not have been able to get to Final Six if not for Tiff's master plan, if not for my contributions, Oz's contributions, and especially Tiff's contributions. So for them to constantly undermine us and invalidate what we did for the cookout and how committed we were to the mission was just wrong. So I have voiced that, and I have received an apology from each and every one of them. But we've kind of left those conversations open-ended for when we have more information.
Of course.
And, you know, we don't have any missing pieces of the puzzle. And then we can really hash that out and just speak thoroughly to each other, if that makes sense. So
that's
TBD.
grown. Yes, and I appreciate that answer. I think that is some grown woman shit. Like, to be quite honest, and I love hearing that, and I think that is something, because the apologies, when you don't know what you're apologizing for, I agree. You cannot like say you're sorry and be sincere just because people are telling you to apologize, just because there are trolls on the internet that say this is what happened. They have not watched it. They have not watched the live feeds. They have not watched the clips. They are still processing on their own time. This is like probably the last thing you would want to do right now, Hannah, coming out of, you know, being in like solidarity for like 80 plus days. You know, this is not something that you would choose to do, right? It's, you want to be able to enjoy your time, and at the same time you have a lot of love for these people. You know, like we said it here on the show that, look, I personally don't have anything against any of the house guests. Like we just have our favorites and we have the issues. And right, there's the issues, the favorites, and then and the things that you want to be able to talk about. And so I'm so glad that you were able to really talk to this. I'm happy.
Yeah, don't mess this up. Look, we just got there. We just got into the place. Okay, we just got to the one. We just got these 6 people to the end. Cloud out the noise. You know, push it out. talk to the people when you hear something, girl. Was this you? Okay, let's talk about it real quick, and then keep it moving. The last thing I want is for there to be these problems from these 6 individuals who made history. Now y'all fought all the time, so do it outside the house and continue the mission and keep going. And I think that's what I'm nervous about. Now the girls trying to break us. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! We all make mistakes and we all talk some mess. That's why Danielle didn't win. But that doesn't make y'all bad people, and y'all still stuck to what needed to be done. And I say keep doing it. Y'all don't gotta like each other all the time. But I was too excited to see this moment happen for anybody to mess it up.
Yeah. I can't speak for everyone else. I think accountability is really important. I'm not just gonna sweep things under the rug because hey, the 6 of us, did this one thing this one time. But because of like the nature of the games that we played and how bonded we were in that game, we're gonna be bonded together for the rest of our lives. And I've said this time and time again, I truthfully feel like I gained 5 big brothers and sisters because of my involvement and membership in the Cookout. And I don't want to lose that. So I have a whole lot of love and respect for all those people.
Look, I don't always love my brothers and sisters either, so I totally get it.
Yes.
I get it. Well, we're taking the last 2.
We can be so dysfunctional.
We can really be. Yes. Last 2 questions. Pika
you
X
guys
Rich.
You guys saw the storage room fight? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, yes. Yes, we did. So Pika's asking, he says, hola, Jessica, and hi, Hannah. Derek, he says, is Derek X your novio? And do you miss Whitney? So, novio in Spanish is boyfriend.
Sí, hablo español también, Jessica. Yes.
Dios mío, ya sabía que
We
tenía
will
una
not
hermana.
do this today. No.
I know. From Chicago, and we hablamos español.
Oh my God, girl, you and I, when you get back, I'm like not even 25 minutes from Naperville. So you need to we need to hook up. We'll have some coffee.
Yes.
There's
Can't wait to fly in. Can't wait to fly in.
She's not joking.
Yeah, you
She's
fly
not joking.
in, or if I visit Toronto.
Oh,
yes.
Pull up.
Yes.
Pull up.
Let's do that. So yes. So asking, is Derek X your novio, and do you miss Whitney?
Yes. Okay. So to answer the first part of your question, Derek X is not mi novio. He is just mi amigo. He's a great friend. He was my closest ally outside of the Cookout, and if not for the Cookout, I would have probably taken him to the end, or taken him as far as I could have taken him. But he's like, you guys saw, he's such a likable human being, and he has a heart of gold. So I respect him a lot as a player and as a person, and I love and care about him. And then
Moment of silence.
Yes, I miss Whitney. Whitney was my girl. Moment of silence.
Oh, girl, you just broke hearts, girl.
Moment of silence.
You broke hearts. You broke hearts right now because there are people. Everybody is just.
How dare you? I thought it was gonna be something. I really liked y'all.
People are crying. People are crying right now. They're just mad.
Sorry she did this to y'all.
I can still love, and I know I can still love it, but please, guys,
everyone's OTP.
Please,
everyone's OTP.
I love this.
Oh well, my gosh. Let's talk. No, I love and care about him. Isn't that enough?
Of course.
And then I miss Whitney a lot.
Yes, Whitney's a sweetheart. She has not been on the show yet, but she's been a very busy bee. And then so Lexi B, thanks for the super chat. She says, now that you guys have broken the racial stigma, in your opinion, what do you think needs to happen to decrease the misogyny in Big Brother? And I like that question. And I just want to say that I do think that had the Cookout, this might be a hot take, maybe hot takes for Hannah right now, but I do believe that if the Cookout did not exist, we would have had a very, very strong female alliance. there would, I feel like maybe there would have been like the first like strong female alliance to kind of, and a woman would have won this season. But go ahead, Hannah. You can answer.
I think that's
the
very
question.
possible.
Answer all the world's problems with this question.
Yes,
But yeah,
Yes.
Okay, let me just solve world peace. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly.
This does sound like a world peace question.
Yes. I mean, it's a loaded question. I feel like
Right.
I don't know. I feel like some things would have to change about the game, because I think the game, I don't know, maybe it's the game, maybe it's society that just, I guess, makes it so that men are able to work together a lot easier than women are. I don't know what the cause of that is exactly. So I don't really know how to change that or how to solve that. It's a loaded question.
We said dismantle the patriarchy.
but-
Let's go.
Amen.
Right? But like I tried doing in the house, accountability is important. I said that a couple minutes ago, but I feel like I try to call people out on their ego, whether, you know, that ego came from a man or a woman, but oftentimes it would come from, you know, the men in the house. I feel like I tried to call them out in a respectful way so we could have a productive conversation instead of me just being like, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I guess accountability, but also it shouldn't really be like the woman's responsibility to dismantle misogyny.
Fully, I was gonna say.
So
There's always, like,
I
a
don't
lot
know
of,
what
like-
the answer to that question is.
That's
Great.
you're right. It's a loaded. I mean, that was a great answer. I
Very
would have
great.
given. I would have given you the crown. Actually, I probably do give you the crown. I'm giving
Honestly.
you that crown, the sash, everything. You're
Yes.
you're
Thank you.
such a doll face. There's never enough
we're
time, and
obsessed.
I feel so horrible
Fully.
because we kind of went over the time that we said
Yeah,
that we were gonna
sorry.
have you.
That's-
So
I'm
we
sorry.
so
No, that is-
sorry.
That is okay. I am such a big fan of you, Jessica.
What?
Such a big fan. When I saw that you were from
Of course,
Chicago, I was
hot
like,
girl shit.
oh my gosh, my fellow Chicago queen. Plus, you know, BB21 was a bit of a hot mess, and you were an unproblematic
A bit.
queen. So
A little bit, just a
I'm
little bit.
such a big fan of
Very
you. A lot of
Well-
it. It was a big mess.
Girl.
Yeah,
But I
just a
wouldn't want to
bit,
be
just a
anywhere
little
else.
bit. Just a little bit, but thank you. I love that we love each other. I was, as soon as I saw you, I was like, this girl, there's something special. I love it. She's close. There's we do have a team of Big Brother people, because you know that who we have quite a few people in Chicago that are from Big Brother, including like Scotty from season 20, and we have Helen, and like Andy, like all of them. It's just, there's a ton of, I mean, we had an outing not too long ago. There was like about 10 of us.
Oh, wow.
So you are actually coming
wow.
into I know. I think you in the live feeds were talking about like trying to figure out who exactly was from Chicago. So it was like there is quite a
Yes.
few of us within this area. So
Yeah.
you know, and also I've been talking to
Wow.
Kemi. Kemi is in love with you. She's just like,
As
I'm
we
gonna
all
fly
are.
out. So like she's gonna fly out to Chicago. She'll meet me up. She
No, we've
wanted
all
to
been
be here
fighting on
today
who's
and
gonna
she
be your
couldn't.
friend.
Oh my God.
Fully, we've all been fighting on who's gonna be your friend.
She's and then Aza's like by her, so I'm
What?
sure like, so I was like, you know
Yes.
what, I was like, we're all gonna figure this out at some point. We're all gonna, you know, have a little kiki together in real life. But
Oh.
you know, but yeah, we absolutely adore you.
This is
I
so
hope this
surreal.
isn't the first. I'm hoping
Thank
this isn't the
you.
last time that, you know, that you're on the show. We would definitely love to have you back.
Come on back.
I was going to ask a question and I completely forgot because I was just like enamored by your beauty. I'm trying to remember now.
Me just starstruck, like,
We're just like
Wow.
looking at her like,
Oh
oh,
my
she
God.
is too
Wow.
cute. She is too cute. Oh
You're
no.
so
There was,
nice.
sorry. I try to like give you people like their props, obviously, but I also want to ask the questions that everybody's like,
Mhm.
I need you to answer
Wanting
this
to know, yeah.
question because that's
Yeah.
what we do here. So I'm just gonna ask you a little bit of a complicated question, but
Yes.
I want you to clear the air because You may or may not know that Hannah stans and Azza stans have not been getting along within this whole time period that is Big Brother, during the Big Brother live feeds. I talked to Azza. We did her interview with her, and she says that she never had a deal with you. Was this a misunderstood type of deal? I know that out of the house everything is love. I see the love that you all have for each other. There's some people that, so some of your stands that really keep on jabbing at the Azza does not like Hannah situation. Did you ever feel that? Do you what is your relationship now? What would you like to tell both Azza and Hannah stands? Create some type of peace, some type of
Speak, queen.
Okay, Hannah stands. Hannah stands. Please don't go after Azza. Azza's a queen, and it was just a game. I love her. I respect her just as I love and respect everyone in the Cookout. And I think her feelings towards me were mostly game related. And again, I have to go back and I have to watch the show and watch some of those live feed clips that people have been tagging me in that I haven't quite been ready to sit down and watch yet. But I feel like she didn't trust me in the game, and that's not really a reflection of how she felt about me as a person. I think she adores me and sees me as someone who's similar to her little sister, and I think of her as a big sister as well. So please don't come after Azza the Queen. She's so accomplished and regal and intelligent and empathetic, and I have nothing but nice things to say about her.
Yeah.
And in terms of the whole deal thing, she's right. We didn't have a deal. I wanted to propose a deal. I wanted to test the waters with her because I knew that out of everyone who was left, she trusted me the least, probably me and Kyland. And she didn't seem receptive to working together moving forward, even though I knew that once Tiffany left, Azza was my best chance of getting to final two. But she seemed like she was not feeling it. So at that point, what am I going to do? I don't want to say the words final two deal because I don't want you to run and go tell Xavier and Big D. So I just kind of kept my mouth shut and hoped that if she won the next HOH, her and I would have had the opportunity to sit down and, oh, sorry, my AirPod just died. I'm a hot mess. I'm sorry.
we can hear you just the same.
Okay, perfect. If not for the double eviction, I think her and I could have sat down and I could have been like, here are the facts. The guys are working together. You might as well just work with me because I need you in this game, which means that you also need me in this game. But because it was a double and everything happened so fast, I didn't get the opportunity to do that. And
I hated it.
Yeah.
What happens.
It's true. Sometimes we have to this is such a Big Brother thing to say, but you may think that you see everything. You don't see everything.
Y'all gonna stop talking down to me.
Well, I'm just saying because there's relationships that build during our lockdowns. There's relationships that build during certain moments that you don't see. And so it could be either that the energy is off. It could be that something was said and someone was upset that was not game related over something insanely stupid. And you can't get over it as quickly. And then things escalate. And then that becomes a game that they turn those personal things into game. And then weeks later, they get over it. But then the trust is lost. There's so much that goes on in this that I think that the only thing that I think that we can do is ask for fans to actually give the grace of forgiveness and know that if the people that you are standing, if they were able to come to an agreement and squash things and to what was done to them personally, then why can't stands do the same and stop? There should be no name calling. There should be no death threats. There should be no, it's kind of ridiculous. It's very obvious that regardless of what maybe Hannah or Azza had said to each other within the game or what was caught, during a time of just passion or people being upset, shouldn't be used for the next 3 months,
Yeah.
against
maybe
a
you're right.
particular person.
I'm gonna tell him to stand down. Okay.
Hands down.
Busy in his little group
No.
chat. He's like, guys, that's enough.
They said
Yeah.
stop it, y'all.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't condone any of that. It was just a game. Like, it was just a game. No need to be pressed. Like, if I'm not pressed, if Oz is not pressed, then there's no need for anyone to be stressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's fine. If you stan Hannah and you don't stan Ozzo or vice versa, that's perfect. But then just you don't have to say anything. You don't have to go any further than that. Say nice things about the people that you like and just keep everybody else's name out of your mouth. That's just like, I mean, isn't that life though?
It's hard though, bro. They paid
totally.
to watch those feeds. Okay, that was money spent. Okay, this
I think it's
hard.
hard because I think people feel like when they watch us like 24/7 that they're like, I know that person's like my friend. So when like you see someone like talking bad about them, you're like, I want to stand up for them. Like, how dare you say that about them?
Yeah.
But sometimes it gets like taken to another extreme.
I think the fandom probably feels protective over their favorite house guests because of how much time they do spend watching us. But like I said, if I'm not worried about it, if Oz is not worried about it, then you certainly shouldn't be. Or at least I.
And I think some people are saying that I was messy for even asking that. No, people have asked. People are asking.
I mean,
so
I
why
wanted to
not?
ask the question.
What you wanted to ask a question?
No, I said I wanted to ask that question. So I'm glad you took it.
So it was just one of those things where you have enough, you have a podcast where people ask you enough questions and you're not asking the questions that people are asking you to ask, then what's the point? I'm sure that Hannah has been on multiple different types of podcasts and they'll, she can go on Rob has a podcast and they could talk about her game moves and that's great. But we wanted to talk more about, the kind of the personal side of it and how she felt and how she's acclimating and just like how this changed her as a person. So we'll leave off with that last question. Like, how do you think, Hannah, this has changed you as a person coming in and then now leaving?
Oh wow. I think in the house, being the youngest, being the baby, that forced me to hold my own. Like, I had to learn how to hold my own in that house in such a stressful environment with a lot of pressure. And I feel like under normal circumstances that brings, or not under normal circumstances, but for a lot of people that kind of brings out their worst or that causes them to break. And I'm proud that, I didn't. I'm proud of the way that I played. I'm proud of the way that I conducted myself. And I think the game showed me that I really do care about people. I'm an empath. Even though I'm not an emotional person, I can form emotional attachments with people. And that's a beautiful thing. So that's what I've learned about myself, but I would not change anything, maybe except for like telling Kyland that X was coming after him because then Kyland cut me and Tiff. Maybe that's like the only thing I'd change, but
maybe
other
you have
than
regrets.
that, I wouldn't change anything or I wouldn't change the way that I carried myself.
Love that.
I'm shocked that she's an empath. And sometimes I was like, where are her emotions?
I'm not emotional.
Girl, sometimes it was like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So
in the game, you have to be to
No,
protect.
you have to be.
Yeah.
Or else you get hurt too easily. You get upset.
Exactly.
You'll be like,
I'll never do it.
Well, because then you aren't able to separate the personal from the game.
Exactly.
It just makes it makes the whole experience a mess for you.
It doesn't make it fun anymore.
Yes, exactly. But I care about people.
Yeah. So that happens. I felt that a lot in the house as well. It's just like the empath. I was like, what are all of these feelings? Like it was a lot. we would love to carry on the conversation, obviously, but there's not enough time in the day. It's been an hour already. We've taken you way above your time. Thank you so much, Hannah,
Yes, thank
for
you.
being with
me.
us. For those of you who have or do not, I'm pretty sure you do, follow Chaddha, follow her on Twitter, follow her on Instagram. Those are her 2 handles.
Follow the doll.
Yeah.
She just got used to social media. Now everybody go follow her. Everybody go
She's
follow her.
like, oh my God. She's like,
She's
oh
a
my
pro.
God. Well, I still really suck at this. But you know, for those of you, if you just got on, click like, subscribe, click to receive the notifications. Hannah, Chaddha was our first, Hannah. But we have Brittany, who's on the show tomorrow. We will have Claire, Alyssa, and Sarah Beth within the week. So this is the show is gonna keep on going. And also probably have some more. So we would love to have you at another point in time, hopefully after you've watched and you've had time to, to digest, decompress, and do all of that. We would love it. Yeah. And so thank you everybody for coming. We adore you. We love you. Is there anything else? Anybody want to say anything else before I bring us out?
Can you tell Todrick that I said hey? And then also, where did you get your jacket from? Because it is giving me life, and I've been wanting to ask since we started. It's everything.
This?
Yes.
Oh, it's Adidas.
Oh,
you lie. Come on, Adidas, girl. Okay.
She said, "Let me secure the Ivy Park drop."
Yeah.
Since I come out of the house. She said,
Yes. Well, I stay in it. Okay, let me write that down somewhere. That's all I got.
So now everybody who likes Hannah's jacket, go to Adidas, sell it out, just like DX's.
Adidas sponsor the doll.
Yes, just like DX's hoodie. Sell it out. That is the next big thing. Now. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. Stay right there. And for everybody else, we love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.